Each week, Val and Amber make royal predictions and track breaking news headlines.
North Node is an Aries, some type of a win, maybe a sports win.
I mean, yeah, it's a win, the Four of Wands.
Weeks later, a momentous win for England.
Third house is electronic and also communications.
You know, I was going to say something about the military information being released.
So there's something that is going to be released. It could be shocking emails.
March 24th, war plans are leaked by a journalist to the shock of European allies. In the March 24th episode, a new scandal.
It's like embezzlement, money, taking the money for themselves.
One day later, Prince Harry resigns from his charity.
So I know we've got a couple of new valedictorians. Thank you so much. So I'm still in shock, and I was kind of mad at myself because I was about to put in a clip that showed Amber saying resignation last week, but didn't work out. I'll put it in next week. And then of course we got the clues of the quitting when we looked at Harry's chart, which was a few months back. And that would be Uranus. So we've got quite a different show today. I don't know if we're going to have time to make the predictions for next week for England, because wait till you see what we have. I wanted to thank my friend Steph, who's a TikToker, and she lived in this town in Italy. It's right next to Salerno, and in this town they have all of these ceramic images put up. It's like a little commune, and it's all about the zodiac. They've got tarot cards, they've got zodiac signs, and there's a ceramic, or it's a what do you call it? Cement bench where they put in all of the zodiac. Isn't that cool?
Beautiful.
Love Italy. So it's Vietri sul Mare. And so special thanks to Stephanie Amber 7. That's where you can find her on YouTube. And if you are interested in what Gwyneth really thinks about Meghan, I just did that for the members. So just join and you can see that. Tonight, I'm going to be discussing the latest Sloan Bella clue. So I hope y'all can join me. This is having to do with the Gene Hackman mystery and some new developments. And so these are my cards for this show. And I thought you would find it intriguing. I haven't shown you, and you haven't really shown me anything that you were either thinking or if you did a pre-spread, but I got the Emperor reversed, the World, and the Ace of Wands. And I feel like this is something, whatever's happening, say, to Prince Harry right now with his charity, there are some bigger consequences or maybe themes that are happening. So that's what I'm getting with the World. And there's been also scuttle about USAID and how that has been, basically granting money for charities around the world. I wonder if this is going to be part of perhaps some controversial types of messages that we're receiving from that. And then the Emperor reversed, and you're going to have to help me with that one. I can't remember which one, which member of the royal family that is. Is that Harry?
It's usually someone, and definitely I don't love him in the reverse. That's a manipulative, controlling, out of control, corporate type of person, leader, entrepreneur.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And then the Ace of Wands, that could be Meghan. It could Meghan Sussex. It could be perhaps maybe one of the players that we're seeing in the news. Yeah. And so I'm also getting something potential, getting this from Camilla's solar return chart. And I want to know who is plotting against King Charles. And then I don't know if some of you've seen this, but Virginia Giuffre just put this out. Oh my God. She was hit by a school bus. It's unbelievable. So I have her solar return chart so we can look and see what's actually happening there. Are there themes that maybe nobody knows about? And could they have something to do with maybe Prince Andrew? So they might not, but I'm just saying, wait till you see this chart. So, of course, there's
Prince
Virginia
Andrew.
and
Mhm.
Prince Harry. I almost said
Yeah.
Prince Harry, Prince Andrew there. And she really, I mean, it was no holds barred. She said basically everything. She told her story over the past years, and it's caused so much turmoil with such a huge entity or institution, the royal family and the kingdom. So I think it takes some guts to do that. And it also takes somebody who's pretty upset, somebody who really feels like they were taken advantage of. So talk about a lion. That was definitely a lion that came out and roared. But is she being punished for that? So just remember with the secret career code that I have on Amazon and also Forensic Astrology 101, we're going to kind of combine some of the lessons in there with some of these charts coming up. And that's going to include in the secret career code, I talk about the H7 or the seventh house ruler, and that rules the employment contract. So you can review the aspect to the chart ruler of the seventh. Poor aspects can mean a challenging experience, and good aspects can represent a positive result or positive things that can come from this contract. So that's something to keep in mind. So we're talking now about Sentebale, and everybody. This just came out. I think it was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe the day before,
Yeah,
yesterday. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's been over the weekend. It's been just everyone's in shock because Prince Harry's stepping away from his charity that he started for his mom. And Sentebale actually means forget me not, which of course is a flower.
Mhm.
So what I did was I pulled a horary this afternoon because I couldn't decide on what chart I wanted to use. So I'm like, let me just ask, what's going on? And this was the chart. Unbelievable. So we have the ascendant, which is the chart ruler. This is the personality of this chart. And it is 1 degree from Algol. So Algol is taking off one's head. It is the devil degree. And of course, we've got Uranus right there on the ascendant, which can show quite a shock. I'm just seeing this right now, but I'm looking at the fact that there's a yod in this chart, and the yod is a finger of fate. Look at this. Oh my God. In the sixth house, we have potentially a worker. We have the daily business of of a person or of workers, and we have Black Moon Lilith. So there's some evil force here that is it's a Scorpio energy. So don't know what that is, but I wonder if it has something to do with maybe the themes of the fact that this is all about Princess Diana. It is in her with her memory in mind. That's what Sentebale means, to remember, or the forget me not. So, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the chart ruler. And the chart ruler is Venus. Venus is right up here. It's retrograde. It's with the North Node and Saturn. Now, if there is a person in the mix, if there is someone everyone's talking about, and they are female, I like to look at where Venus is. I want to see what's going on and whether it makes sense or not. So Venus is conjunct the North Node, which is a foreign female. Saturn could be someone who has darker features, and also with Pisces is someone who may have a creative background, but it could have something to do with fraud. It could also have something to do with photos, lots and lots of photos. And where are the photos? Eighth or 11th house is social media.
Okay.
So we're seeing a profile developing here. And take a look at this T-square, and where does it point? Right to the second house. So the second house is finances. There is a problem here. And do you know, I have quite a few clients who are uh, they're in finance and they hold the budget, and often there will be people that they work with who might have some fraudulent motives. And so it kind of seems like that. Also, remember, with the square to Gemini, that's usually a thief. So I wonder if you could tell me, are is Sentebale, is it dealing with, actually, I'm not even going to ask something specific. Can you just maybe give us not only the cards with the theme of Sentebale, but also your clairvoyant clues too?
Yeah, so the three separate messages I had before we started, and I'm seeing this chart right now, and I'm sort of freaking out because the astrological cards on that chart, the moon square Pluto, which I believe is in that chart as well. And this did make me think of something. This is intuitive. It's not what the cards are telling me. It's just my intuitive hit is it has something to do with underground, or I kept thinking of the word mining, something buried, something hidden. Moon square Pluto. The other thing is when you talked about this, I feel like there's three people. If there's like one person who is maybe in the spotlight right now for this, it's like there's more people. There's one puppeteer, and then there are other workers or other people that are involved that might come to light. I want to get a live card for this. What is going on? Your horary. Yeah, well, here we go. Money, money, money. This is very selfish. This is another sort of embezzlement, like the money is mine. I will take the money. This is about money. It's a Seven of Pentacles.
Yeah, it makes sense because that's what they're talking about right now. They're talking about sponsorships, how when Prince Harry left, a lot of the sponsorships, at least it's been claimed, dried up for Harry. And so this executive director, oh, I'm sorry, the chairwoman, she is making certain claims, and there are financial themes here. So definitely we're seeing that, and that's that second house there. That T square could just be no more money. So it kind of it might bolster what she's saying, but is she part of the problem or is she part of the solution? And so what I want to do, and it's probably best not to get into too many details, but what we like is that if there is any kind of fraud that's happening and it's coming out of Pisces, and we see a square to part of fortune, that means no success. They're going to try. They're going to try, but they can't do it. And yet there is one trine to the part of fortune, and that is, of course, from Black Moon Lilith. So it looks, this to me, usually Pluto is a transfer. Uranus too is a transfer. And I could see Uranus right on the ascendant there, as Uranus in Taurus is transfer money. Could be Bitcoin, could be, or cryptocurrency types of stuff. That could be part of this chart. But there is that blue little line. Oh, and somebody asked, was it Janet who asked to turn on closed captions? I need to learn how to do that. I'm so sorry I didn't do it this time, but I'm gonna figure out how to do that. Maybe I'll do that in a couple of minutes if I have time. So this is Black Moon Lilith. Now, this is investments, but this is a person here. The success, there could be documents here, financial, second house, documents, and they are being sent somewhere. Now, Scorpio could mean somebody else's charity because Scorpio represents somebody else's, but it's definitely the money was able to go somewhere. It doesn't matter really, who did it. It just happened. It doesn't matter, but we won't talk about that because we'll get in trouble. What happened here? This is what I would like to know. Where exactly, if money was taken from this charity, where did it go?
when I said minerals or mining, there is a theme of diamonds. Like I kept thinking of diamonds, the imagery in multiple cards. In this card, you could see her holding this. It looks like a crystal, but the shape of it is mirroring these crystals coming out of the ground. Two different, completely different decks that just happen to be the same. And then there's a pearl. Something like that. When you said Bitcoin, I was thinking, or gold, like something tangible. I don't know where that would show up in the chart, but let me get one clarifier. It doesn't work. Like you said, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
There's a three theme though. There's something with three.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of three cards.
And that could also be too a group on the board. And we've already seen how with the Sentebale board, everybody's dispersing. So are they all innocent? You know, are they guilty? Now, Margaret, you said the chair used 600,000 pounds for advisors to help in getting funds, but you did not ask permission from the others, which is the rule. Okay. And that's alleged, I guess. We don't want to get in trouble, but it does seem as if something was kind of, it's hard working at nonprofits. You know, living in DC for so long, of course, I worked for a couple, and there are so many people who have their own interests involved. And you've got to kind of jump through hoops in order to get on or stay on everybody's side. So we're going to see this is going to play out, I think, don't you?
I do. There's more information or more people that will be in the spotlight.
You know, it's funny, Angel. I often wonder what Harry's situation would be had he not met Meghan, just out of curiosity. But everybody's going to try to drag her into this, and I think this is his deal, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I think she's definitely being pulled into it. I'm sure she doesn't like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this keeps coming up, doesn't it? Something very shocking involving Diana. I wonder what it will be. And I know, Angel, a school bus, this was regarding Virginia, Giuffre, a school bus going at over 110 kilometers per hour. That's kind of crazy. Hi, Eileen. And
Can't wait to see that chart.
I know. I saved that till the end, of course. And Teresa, nice to see you. I know it was a gorgeous bench. I want to go see it right now. And no, of course, Sloan will not be joining us, but I'm going to at least look at her clues. So, all right. And yes, 3 queens. We got 3. We're going to talk about 3 queens. So far, we're kind of getting into 2, which would be the head of this nonprofit. And then, of course, Meghan. So they are in the news, and it just seems heated. It seems like everybody's angry about it and maybe trying to get on the offensive before others do. And hello, Nan. Okay, Margaret, you said Harry had deposited over £1 million and only 300,000 pounds. Then she asked for $350,000 for salary. This position was volunteer. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. So that would be reason enough. If she had asked for money and it was a volunteer position, maybe they would have said, well, it's too bad. So yes, thank you, Angel. Everything we discuss is an interpretation of what we are seeing in the astrological charts, speculation, and our opinions. Thank you. And of course, and allegedly. And so now I am going to change this over and okay, Sentebale. Where did the money go? All right. So one more thing. I've got a couple more charts for this. And so I've gotten, like, you've got a lot of 11th house stuff, a lot of Pisces, a lot of you're going to be seeing a lot of photos in social media, 11th house. So that's super easy to see. But what is Mars here? Mars is the 12th house lord and represents a charity. And you can see that there is another T-square here. Got a couple of T-squares. I think that this is embezzlement here. It's possible. I think it's possible. Mars in Cancer. Now, this has to do with communications, third house, and transportation. So maybe we might be seeing how somebody wanted to take a private jet and, maybe took advantage of transportation, possible.
Use of power. Yeah.
Yeah, abuse of power. And then
Mhm.
we've got also Chiron up here. And so this person, I'm not sure how I feel about this. This is someone who is either wounded or is ready to really do an evil battle here. And I mean, the sixth house is workers. So there's a possibility, I think, we're going to be seeing more about maybe a bad worker that has Mars.
Feels like
This has
maybe a smear campaign because it's or it's
yeah.
the 12th house though, isn't it?
What is the 12th?
Is it in the 12th house, Chiron?
Oh yeah. Yep,
Oh.
it's in the 12th. Mhm. So,
Mm.
yeah, the smear campaign of the charity is in there, and
Mm.
so not sure what to make of that, but let me get to the next chart. Okay, that's Camilla. I guess what I wanna know is, can you give us a profile of who this person is? This is somebody, oh gosh, this is actually, you know what? This isn't just one person, because look at
Mm.
this. We've got Black Moon Lilith trine part of fortune in Gemini. So we're going to be seeing some twins here. We're going to be seeing a group. So
Yes.
who is this group that is nefarious?
Yes. Well, I keep getting that group card, the Three of Pentacles. I've had it over and over and over, and it's usually a man and two women is typically
Really?
who is in that group.
Okay.
Oof. Five of Swords. This is like a group that is already battling internally, and someone wants to just head out. If one person's trying to walk away, it's like that's a stress. I kind of feel like someone might be, if there is a group, like who's the one that's going to fold or break or speak out, or say something outside of the group. It's like, who's going to fold first? Eight of Wands. Yes, communicate it. Yes, lots and lots. There could be documentation of communication within that group that comes out,
Oh,
emails or
yeah, those are going to be the
something.
receipts.
Yeah.
I've got to wonder if it has something to do with the Middle East. I mean, that's
Mm.
Scorpio. So Scorpio is the desert. Uh, that could be Africa too, maybe. Although I don't think so. I don't think Scorpio.
Mm.
It's where the sand is. So I don't know.
Confirmation with the Three of Cups. So it's three. So there's something with three.
3. Yep.
Mhm.
Triplets.
Yeah.
um, and thank you, Angel, for saying that. To remind everybody to hit the like button. And also, before I forget, if you are interested in a reading with me or Amber, you can book a reading. Just email Amber. Oh, it is so much fun and so just informative to get a reading with Amber. I'm going to put together a little something after retrograde.
Yes.
And I just a real quick story. There was a morning where I was just like, I really want my sailboat back. Like I had to sell it a few years ago, and I was like that morning. But then I had a reading with Amber, and the first card she pulled was like a boat, and then she's like, you need to start putting together like a what is it, the vision board, which I had thought of that morning too. Like maybe I should put the boat on the vision board. So she was really reading my thoughts. It was very spooky, but very inspiring, and also makes you think that things are possible. You can also reach out to me on my website there, and
Full return that you did for me is like my roadmap for the year. I'm just like watching it
I
unfold.
know.
So
Yeah,
specific.
it's
It's really good.
amazing. It's amazing, especially, with moving and with just seeing certain things. A lot of times you're going to see in a certain house, there's going to be a lot of planets in there. So that's
Yeah.
kind of a clue. Like, okay,
Yeah.
what's that house represent?
Yeah.
What's going on in there? It looks like there's going to be some activity.
You
So,
predicted my move back from December, and there was no sense of me moving then. So I was prepared, mentally prepared.
Wow, that's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also there was a little bit of some worry too about the fires, and
Yes.
they were coming so close, but we could see from that chart that they were
Yeah.
gonna they were gonna come
Same
close,
way. Yeah.
but they weren't gonna come into the house. So,
Yeah.
hello, Paula.
Mm.
Okay, Kimberly, just reach out to me on my email, and I'll put it in the chat, and you can reach out that way. And let's see, I thought you could use your credit card on PayPal, so I'm not sure why that's not working. And you got stuck at the grocery store. That's okay. We're just getting started. We have a bunch left, a bunch of charts left. So that's pretty interesting about that chart. And now I want to go to the next queen here. And so this is something that you're going to see when you look at your solar return chart. You're going to go from month to month, and you're going to see what's in there, and be able to get a if you know a little bit of astrology, you can see some of the good months and some of the more challenging months. And so we are right here in the middle of we're at March 31st. So actually, I think we're coming in. Wow, she is starting to come into the Scorpio range now. And so she's going to be in the Scorpio range until I want to say about April 25th. And then she gets into the Sag range. So we got to kind of look at Pluto, because Pluto rules Scorpio. And that means, well, it could be very good depending on how Pluto's doing, or it might be a little challenging. And so that's kind of what you do when you look at a solar return chart. Okay, so the Pluto's down here, and there is an opposition with Venus and Leo. And I am concerned about that. I think that there's a female coming in. This could be a queen, another princess. There's a little problem. That could be Catherine, actually. And let's see here. Yeah. So I can't really see it. I should have, but I hope you can see it. Venus is in Leo. So what I want to know first is, with Venus in Leo opposing Pluto, and this is going to start activating very, very soon, any day now. Who's this woman that is kind of sparring with Camilla, Queen Camilla?
Ooh. Well, it's a queen of wands,
Okay.
which I think is sort of crazy out of all these cards. And we're asking who it is, and it's a woman. This Queen of Wands is interesting because sometimes I associate that with Camilla. But, in this particular deck, it's someone with, a darker complexion. It could be someone in the creative space. Sometimes she's a business owner. She might work with children, animals, art, things that are very creative, but she might own something very valuable. I'm getting something very valuable.
Could there be something about fire involved?
I mean, look at her. This is the fire card. She's surrounded by lit candles. But let's ask. Who's about this? The Black Cat. Well, I would say it's funny. It's the Page of Cups, which is very watery, which almost sort of puts a splash on the fire, puts the fire out. It's actually some kind of an offer. It's an offer of working or partnering in something, but it's like someone is too much. This other it's like oil and water. This feels like fire and water. They don't get along. There's something, they don't get along. They're complete opposites.
Okay. I think it might be Princess Catherine. It's a princess.
Ooh,
Oh, you
death
got that.
card.
You got that before for Camilla.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it means that probably at the very least a chapter is closing for her.
Mm-hmm.
And there might be some power struggles. That's already been making the news. Sue, you're saying love you, but it's so choppy I can't listen. Is anybody else having a problem? I'm so sorry about that. Angel, you said, Val read my solar return chart and there's a big event. I was like, yeah, never going to happen. Well, it sure did happen. Shocking. And yeah, those charts are amazing. It's, you just need a translator. And Sloan is a triple Leo. Wow. Oh, I love that picture of your dog, Teresa. That's so cute. And Paula has joined us. Hello, Paula. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Angel. So yeah, maybe Sue. Not sure. Maybe turn off your computer and turn it on. That's the only thing I know how to do. Okay, so let me add. So yeah, this is coming in, this woman. And when you have an opposition with Pluto, this can also be this is jealousy. Can you pull a card about some kind of either jealousy or betrayal that's coming up? And that's any day now for Queen Camilla.
Yeah, I just have the Three of Wands come out, another fire card with a woman, and it's a 3 again, where 3's a crowd. Maybe there is some kind of, triangle.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely a stress. It could be something that is very painful. Oh, it may be Catherine. There's this Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn, which I can associate to Catherine.
And sometimes it's difficult because there are other players, there are courtiers, there are people who are telling you one thing and then going around and maybe telling Queen Camilla something else, and the wires get crossed. Yeah.
This is a gossip card.
Okay. Yeah. So there could be some gossip. There could be, I heard you said this about me and it's not true. We are going to that charitable ball and, or something to that. It causes stress, something to that effect.
Yeah.
And yes. And Angel, yeah, waiting for the Capricorn. Of course, Catherine is Capricorn. And
I'm hearing the word snubbed. Like when you see or read something about someone was snubbed.
Okay. Thanks, Vicky. And let's see. Let me just add. So somebody's getting snubbed. Somebody is trying to be the queen. There's only one queen on the throne. There's only one king on the throne. So when obviously, and then I think about Megan Sussex and how she was the star of Suits. So there are four queens and there are 4 kings in a game. And so, that's so funny how all that Leo energy is part of her narrative. So, yes. Okay. Now, let's get to who is plotting against King Charles. How do I get this? Well, this is Queen Camilla's chart, and you can see what your partner is doing or what's happening. Now, King Charles in Queen Camilla's chart this year in her solar return is the moon in Scorpio, but he is trining the chart ruler or the rising sign for Camilla, which represents that they are working together. They are helping each other. It's very nice. And so I really like that for them. And so, as Sagittarius comes in, and that's going to be probably around April 20th throughout May, Jupiter starts to activate here, and it's in the twin sign of the 5th house of family. It actually looks pretty good. It looks good for her because there's a trine to the south node and a sextile to the north node, which is the point of Thales. So this means something big. It means a lot of documents. She's getting a lot of documents. She's sending out a lot of documents because that's the south node. She's increasing the documents and then she's decreasing the documents. So that can be really good, except there is this person right here, possibly it could be a royal group of some sort. You see this little green line right here? This is stress. This is people who are kind of keeping it from you, who don't want you to do it. And what I wonder, because the second house of finances is involved, we might have more financial themes when it comes to a queen here. It seems like it's getting stepped up in May that Queen Camilla is making some big financial moves. And I wondered what you could pull from that for May.
Our Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. Yeah. She might gain some kind of leg up or power or control over an investment. This is an investing card, the Seven of Pentacles. And this is about competition and sort of climbing the ladder and being in charge. This is, really managing and keeping control of finances. So does she take some kind of leadership in the financial, something with investing?
Okay. Yeah, it's investments. I think she's doing well. Like when you have Jupiter and Gemini and some nice aspects, and it's also family wealth. I think she's increasing her family wealth in May, but somebody's like, no, you don't. And I wondered who's that person who's causing her strife.
Let's see. Wow. This feels like maybe government. It's not a family member, I don't think. It's like an entity. The Hanged Man in reverse in this Five of Pentacles. It's like the money can't go here, it has to go here. It's maybe that's what the resistance is. It's she wants to do this, but it's like a board and, like we spoke about, the regulations say it has to go over here.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks, KG. That's good advice. Change your setting. And for the better sound and picture. And now, Soda Pop, darn that Mercury retrograde. Trying to watch without the choppiness. Now, I'm going to get to what everybody's waiting for here, I think. Oops. Yeah. All right, I want to know, was it a hit job? This is really, awful. Virginia Giuffre has told the world via social media that she has 4 days to live because she has kidney damage. This is heartbreaking. She's saying goodbye to her kids. First of all, can you tell me, is it true? Is it really, is she really that critical? Not to say she would say something, but I'm thinking about the doctors telling her information. Is it true that she will not live past, maybe next week?
I have the Ten of Swords.
Oh God.
I do feel there's an ending. And the funny thing is the third and final message I had before we got on here now kind of feels like it's coming into focus with this is the Nine of Swords in reverse and the Star card. And what I didn't know you were going to talk about this, but my first thought was someone unalived that's famous, that's in a very terrible, terrible mental place, bad state of mind. But I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it certainly looks like she is. Would that be leaving something behind?
There's a sense of peace in this card. It is an ending, but it's also, she's sort of got this bright horizon in front of her that's you're walking toward. So there is like a new beginning. A 10 goes to a 1 in numerology. So you're kind of back at the beginning. It's like kind of a little bit like the Death card. A little less intense. So, but it is an ending.
Okay. Well, this is Virginia Giuffre's soul return chart. And how about the fact that her rising sign is in Aquarius, which is, it tends to be the sign of accidents. And I had this as my solar return last year. Thankfully, I did not have any accidents, but there were some shocking things that happened in other parts of my life. But nothing like bodily harm for me. So, don't get nervous if you see something like this. But for her, this rising sign is at the late degrees of Aquarius. And by the way, take a look at where her descendant is, right within 2 degrees of Regulus, representing the king sign Regulus. So this to me is a little bit shocking to see that there is a king in this chart of her year. Now, this could just mean that she was talking a lot about him. I'm not sure when the last time was. What was the last special that we saw about her? I can't recall, but that just might be reflecting that she was talking about, um, the royal family. But good God, that's a big deal because the descendant can be the partner, it could be the husband, or it could be maybe a past partner. Now, well, before I get to that, this Regulus, we're going to look at the sun. Okay. And the sun is in Leo in her chart. And there's a sextile to the 4th house of Gemini. So this almost looks as if there's communication of some sort between her and, now this is crazy. Like, this doesn't make any sense, but it looks like there's some kind of open communication between her and a royal. Could that be true? And that would be during her year,
Hmm.
because you'd think she'd be cut off,
This feels like cut off. This 8 of Cups,
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, they left.
removed. Removed.
Yep. They're like,
Mhm.
no, there's no communication. We left her behind, or she
Mhm.
left them behind. That was that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. But there is something here. It could just mean that she's on TV telling all about this royal, okay? Somebody who's very powerful. And by the way, it's the sun sextiling Gemini, which means 2 or more royals.
Mm.
So there is, I don't know, were there people that were eavesdropping on her that were of royal descent?
Hmm. So I have 2 interesting messages. That 2 of Cups in reverse, that is a break of a connection between 2 people. The Knight of Pentacles is a messenger of some kind that could be behind the scenes. They're very unassuming. So she might be talking to somebody that is Virgo-like. It's small, it's, maybe hermit-like behind the scenes. And then I had this 2 of Pentacles as soon as you said 2 or more. So
Hmm.
maybe there's one other person. One is disconnected and the other one is hidden.
That horse makes me think of Prince Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a Prince Andrew card? We haven't talked about him in a while, but
I don't.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Margaret, wasn't she going to write a book after the year that she had to abstain? I didn't know that, but that would be something. Sag is usually the publications, but Gemini is definitely it's communicating and being on television. So this was part of her solar return year, which of course is birthday to birthday. I want to just fast forward. This is what the solar return would look like. So her birthday started August 9th. And so every month you're going to go month to month. And interesting how this terrible thing would happen, this accident in her 8th house, which represents death at the very least. Sometimes it can represent someone causing the death. But Black Moon Lilith in the 8th? Come on. And then an opposition to Neptune. Now, this could be somebody who was drinking alcohol. And I don't know, maybe we have an update. I haven't seen one yet, but could this have been a drunk driving type of thing? Makes me kind of think of Diana a little bit because there was a blame on a drunk driver. Was drinking involved, do you think,
That's a great question.
on the part of the school bus driver?
It's a no card.
Okay.
It almost actually, I was sort of looking at the other cards I had. It almost feels like if it's some kind of if there's a component of like a Neptune type of thing outside of drinking and driving, it's almost like someone's state of mind was so impaired,
Okay.
mental impairment, not ingested impairment. I don't know how to describe that.
Okay.
But that Nine of Swords keeps coming out.
I mean, at the very least, a bad aspect to Neptune can represent a big scandal. So that's coming out.
Because I had that unaliving clue, I would describe it as this in this scenario. It's like it was in the other person might have had the intention for themselves. And
Okay. Okay.
like, yes, intended, but not necessarily targeted.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, so we're basically in this house when Virginia Giuffre got into an accident. And so what we're going to do is we're not just going to look at what's going on in here. And remember, Libra it's musicians, it's diplomats, it's that bad diplomat in there. And this could be investments, this could be investors, and Mercury is ruling this month. So we not only look at the 8th house of the month, but we look at the ruler and where the month is. And Mercury is retrograde. And remember, we're in retrograde plus Venus. So this happens to be squaring Uranus. So this would show the time when she would get into this terrible, terrible accident. And crazy how Uranus is 1 degree off of the losing your head degree of Algol. And you can see that, she's got some terrible head injuries at the very least. I also have in her chart, I've got Jupiter and Mars, which means a lot of anger on television. So that's going to also show what maybe what she's doing or how she's being seen. But there is a square to somebody very, very evil, 18 degrees in Pisces. So we know who is a Pisces, but somebody is trying to get her to stop talking. Could this have something to do with Virginia's accident?
The Emperor in the upright. Yes. Yeah, it feels like before. Oh, I was thinking of playing chess when we were talking earlier. That just popped back out like a game of chess. Strategy. This unaliving clue that I'm getting, and it's like I think of like a suicide bomber, right? They go in with intention, knowing what their job is and that their own life is at risk. This is someone in control. And it's a yes card to the question.
Okay. And remember, I got the Emperor reversed in my pre-spread. That's crazy. Okay. Okay. So the answer is that there could definitely be something nefarious behind this. Somebody wants her to stop talking because it is hurting. It is hurting a big institution of some sort. And so, wow. And there's a bigger look at her month here. It went from Mercury, which was here, and then the accident was in her chart was in Libra. So it would be Venus, but so strange that it looks like a twin, and it makes me think of Diana. It's like a twin accident. That she would meet her fate the same way. Could we get a card from you about anything that has to do with maybe Diana? Is this supposed to be a twin of Diana? Oh, shoot. And I wasn't showing the chart.
The Knight of Swords. It just reminds me of all the paparazzi on the motorcycles, being chased. In the upright, it's a yes card to the yes, no question. And
Okay. And I apologize. I did not show what I was talking about here. This is Mercury, and then Venus rules Libra here. So it went from early March, we went to Mercury. And then right in Libra, we went to Venus. So it's weird that was right next to each other. Mercury is what you are thinking about in your solar return year. And it does look like she is thinking about something. She is thinking, I wonder did she have any premonition? Do you think Virginia Giuffre had some premonition? Because there's a lot of thought about an accident. Well, why would she have an accident premonition, or why would she have a thought about it before it actually took place? That's weird.
Yeah. The wheel in the uprights, that's a yes. And, look at the image of this lady. She looks like she's just dialed right in, just tuned and dialed right in. Maybe she did.
Yeah, maybe she was a little bit worried there. And okay.
Yeah, she has dice around her neck. It's like, roll the dice, roll the dice.
Okay. Let's see. So, and in the 8th house, this is death. It's also revenge. And it makes you go, and the other thing too, I wanted to also say is that once we get into April 9th and on, so her Scorpio is going to kick in. And so that's going to be here. This is going to be I'd say mid-April to maybe May 12th or something like that. So Pluto's going to activate. And holy moly, look at this. This is a massive grand trine here. This looks like something very famous because of, I'm getting chills. Pluto is lots and lots and an obsession of the public. This is the moon. And then this is Uranus. So this is a very, very famous accident, but it's in her solar return, in Virginia's solar return, it's in Scorpio, which means getting revenge. You can get revenge. So I wonder, it could be the 9th house. I think this has to do with the press. I think the press again is helping her maybe get some kind of revenge with a famous event. What is this famous event? It's coming up.
That Knight of Pentacles again. Maybe that is our Andrew card.
Oh my God.
His horse.
Whoa. Wow, that's so weird that you got it again.
Yeah. I got the King of Swords with it to clarify, and the Six of Swords.
Okay.
It's powerful messaging. Feels like, again, I'm getting the word smear campaign. So maybe the revenge is that she will have more to say, or messages will be released.
And I wonder too if this is going to be causing problems for maybe this causes other problems for Camilla. Maybe that's in her chart there, that it's like suddenly, wow, this is another thing we've got to deal with here. And, I really want to do these other things, but now we've got to deal with Andrew's thing again. So that's possible. Shelley, hey, Shelley, do you think she'd receive death threats?
It's funny you asked that question as I'm looking at this Six of Swords, and it's like a woman controlling the narrative, controlling the messaging, or controlling the words and the communication. The devil was on the bottom of that as I was going to ask that question again. Shelley's question. Woo, that's a yes. I mean, look how painful that is. And this is communication card too. So this is, I'm certain.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jan, you said Camilla, Diana twin. Exactly. Yep. I've just because they're blonde and they were both, I guess, I don't know, what else could they have been twins about? I'm sure there was a couple
Married
of
to
them.
the same man.
Yeah, married to the same man. And then also Camilla has almost a twin sister, as a sister that looks like her.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jan, you're right. Black Moon Lilith. This is something nefarious that's underneath here that we're seeing. And especially with that Neptune. Neptune can also mean a mystery. It's something that is that nobody can really figure out. And it's right on sheet, the 29th degree. So I think too, she's getting money from some of these things that she's doing. Apparently, according to the chart. I don't know if that's true, but maybe this is kind of, if you can see, hold on one sec. Neptune is here, and you could see that opposition. This is somebody who does not want her to make any money again, from what she's saying. So this is somebody who's like, whatever it takes, we want to cut this channel of income from her. I mean, that's what I'm getting from it. But yeah, so we'll have to see him. I'm very, very eager. She definitely is the cause of a lot of chaos when it comes to that institution. So yeah, Jen, I do too. I would believe there were death threats, and they probably still are happening. And Jan, you said, would Sophie be allowed an opinion on Andrew? You said Diana and Sophie were always twinning. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, there's always some kind of twinning. And I think that's pretty much it. I hope you guys can join me a little bit later on for the Gene Hackman show. And I'm only going to have these solar return charts available till tomorrow. So I'm going to take them off again for a while. So definitely check them out, sign up, and hope to see you guys soon. Anything else? We were going to talk about coming up in the next week. We're going to talk about Edward the First, and what's that?
Fourth? Edward the Fourth.
Oh, the fourth. Yeah, sorry, Edward the Fourth. And you're the expert on Edward the Fourth, and there's so much, the War of the Roses, so much stuff going on. And I wonder, do you think it's possible to draw some parallels with the current family?
I do. I really do. Every time I see some particular headline or things that just cross my path regarding the current royal family, some storylines, it always throws me back to that same storyline. It feels like a repeat in so many ways.
And
Some of the people, relationships.
I wonder if we could get some possible new clues about a very old mystery too. So we'll have to dig into that chart. So, well, thank you again. We love your new pad, and hopefully we will see you next week. Thanks everybody, and we'll talk to you again.
See you soon.